fellow gamers, it's K-Wing here, bringing you review number 59 of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Before we start, keep in mind that I lost over 200 GameCube saves back in December 2007 because the GameCube 1019 memory card became defective. So that's why you will see past and present GameCube footage of this game. So let's just keep that in mind and enjoy the review. Time for the story of Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. Dr. Eggman Robotnik is at it again. This time he breaks into a secret military base and frees the ultimate life form, who is Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow tells Robotnik that he needs more Chaos Emeralds to fulfill the Doctor's wishes. Meanwhile, Knuckles has confronted a Batwoman from stealing the Master Emerald. All of a sudden, Eggman appears out of nowhere and steals the Master Emerald. Rather than have Robotnik steal the Master Emerald, Knuckles leaps after Eggman and shatters the emerald into a million pieces, much to the dismay of the Lady Thief. Back at his headquarters, Robotnik sees Shadow on TV stealing Chaos Emeralds. The military mistakes Shadow for the world-renowned hero, Sonic the Hedgehog. Shadow keeps seeing images from his past and promises to fulfill Maria's wish for the world. Shadow frames Sonic to keep the military off his back so he can collect more of the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic meets up with Shadow but is unable to stop him and is soon imprisoned by the government. Tails then sets out to rescue his pal Sonic from the military, as nothing will stop him. Amy Rose, with the help of Tails, finds Sonic. Can the world's fastest hedgehog defeat Dr. Eggman once again? And concept for this game. Now, players will take on the role of both a Sonic the Hedgehog and newcomer Shadow, who have the basic run-through levels of old, and the whole point of the game is if you're playing as Sonic, you're supposed to stop Shadow from stealing the Chaos Emeralds, and if you're playing as Shadow, then you have to steal the Chaos Emeralds to use them for your revenge against the world, and both parties are supposed to stop Dr. Robotnik from taking over the world as usual. Now, the game has a story mode which is divided into two parts: the hero, which is the light side, and of course the dark, which is the villains. Not to mention there is a level selection and different ways to play the levels, each time resulting in a letter grade as your score. Now please keep in mind that there is no way I could get all A scores since I just started replaying the game after losing all my game saves. So how would you feel about that? Instead of just being Sonic, this game, like Adventure, lets you play as a certain group of Sonic characters, each in turn with their own abilities. Eggman and Tails are in mechs, and Knuckles and Rouge the Bat have treasure hunting stages to collect the pieces of the Master Emerald. Now, 2 Battle has a lot to offer to the player as well. For instance, there's a Sonic-themed Mario Kart track for 2 players. There is also a boss rush mode, where you can fight the different bosses from the story mode, which can be both fun and pretty challenging. Now, 2-player Battle also has a lot of options as well, like the 2-player races, with Sonic and Shadow and other characters of speed-like abilities. There is also a treasure-seeking levels with Knuckles and company, as well as mech battles with the Chow. Did I say that right? Are they Chow or Cho? Anyway, they fight. This game also has a hidden Green Hill Zone stage, which is very nostalgic, and of course the Chow Garden, with lots of different options as well, and plus, look at them, aren't they just so cute? This game also lets you collect and listen to the soundtrack from the game. Pretty epic if you ask me. Alright, it's time for the controls for this game. Now, you move the Sonic and Shadow with the control stick on the GameCube controller. Jumping and your homing attacks is with the A button, and the B button is going to act as your majority for switching through different things, like doing the spin dash and grinding on rails, all kinds of fun stuff. The B button is essential. Now, for homing attacks such as this, just keep tapping the A button, and again you will see another B move where he goes through the rings and stuff like that. The Sonic Ball is when you jump and you hold in the B button, and that pretty much does it for the Sonic characters. Now, Knuckles and Rouge, is it Rouge or Rouge? I know it's not Rogue, but anyway, in order to fly and stuff, you use the A button. The B button will be used for digging and serve other purposes, as well as fighting. But I have to say that the gliding and stuff like that is pretty fun. The A button will also act as your swimming mechanic. Now, for Tails and Robotnik's mechs, to shoot, you tap the B button. or you can hold it in to lock onto numerous enemies, and the A button acts as your jump or your quick hover. Alright, time for the design of this game. Sonic Adventure 2 had updated graphics for the GameCube release, and I have to say, it looks pretty jawsome. Especially check out the detail for the white jungle, probably my favorite zone in this game for both Sonic and Shadow. It is just awe-inspiring. Another cool stage is this one right here, where Sonic is grinding down the rails toward the Earth, and you can see all the stars and detail and stuff like that. I also liked Aquatic Mine, but not the music for Aquatic Mine. But the water effects were great. Not to mention the character models in this game look really good, as do the cutscenes, so major props, Sonic team. Alright, time for the history for this game, your favorite and mine. Dreamcast memories. As many of you know, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 released for the Dreamcast, but did you know that both Rouge the Bat and Shadow made their debut in Adventure 2? This game was retouched and the first Sonic game to release on a Nintendo system. This game was also released during the Sonic 10th year anniversary alongside the first Nintendo and co-produced Sonic game, Sonic Advance. Sonic Adventure was retouched and called Adventure DX. Sonic Heroes was the first Sonic game to be released on every console. Ryan Drummond was the Dreamcast voice of Sonic until the voice of Robotnik died, and he and the entire cast were replaced by 4Kids voice actors, including Jason Griffith. In my opinion, the best voice of Sonic will always be this man, Jaleel White, voice of Sonic from 93 to 2000. Before I forget, this was the last Dreamcast game to be made in 2007. Time for the bad aspect. The name Sonic the Hedgehog really doesn't fly in Sonic games anymore. In fact, it should have been called Sonic and Friends, because Sonic, let's face it, isn't available the whole game like during his golden years. I honestly didn't enjoy playing with Tails, Robotnik, and I found the Knuckles and Batwoman levels both boring, long, and very hard. But what made me hate the Knuckle levels especially so much was the annoying, terrible, absolutely dreadful rap music. Thank God for the mute button. Sorry, Knuckles, but it was just terrible. Oh yeah, I also didn't like the fact that you couldn't transform into Super Sonic until the very end of the game. Now that is just lame. Alright, time for the good aspect. Now, before I have an angry mob of Sonic fanboys camped out in front of my house with pitchforks and torches, I will say this about Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. It has more strengths than it does weaknesses, and tons of customizable options up the wazoo. Yet again, the jungle and white jungle zone are probably my favorite stages to play in this game because they are absolutely breathtaking and really show what not only the GameCube engine could do, but what the Dreamcast was able to do back in 2001. Absolutely astounding. I also have to say that the story for this game was good, and it really touched me. I really like the fact that both the bad and the good guys got together to save the world. Not to mention, the music in this game is incredibly well done. Especially the rocky, blues, metals type of instrumental music going on is so well made, and it's absolutely a pleasure to listen to. Even though you can only go supersonic at the end of the game, it's still pretty cool, but there's nothing like being able to do it after you get 50 rings, you know what I'm saying? Also, the secret stage Green Hill Zone after you get 180 emblems, it's short, fun, and nostalgic. Even though my wife beats me in 2-player mode, it's still fun to play it. It really is. This is probably one of the best, if not the best, Sonic 3D games to be made of all time. And it is a welcome addition to any gamer's library, and I'm happy to give it a 9 out of 10. The next review will actually be Super Mario Kart Wii, or just Mario Kart Wii for the Nintendo Wii, as the game will be reviewed next week, a week after its release here in the United States. Well, that's it for me, gamers. Thank you so much for watching. God bless, and happy gaming. This is K-Wing saying, see ya.